when you're like us, when you're like Sean Brady, UFC, welterweight, you're like many members of the few, you're living a life of passion, purpose, and progress. And you want to continue that streak for as long as you can because you're actually changing society.
Welcome to the Fuel Hunt Show.
What's going on, Eagles? I'm Joey, and this is the Fuel Hunt Show. I am here with my cousin and co-founder, Drew. As always, consistently, I'm always here with you. Brings joy to my heart. How you feeling?
Reps earn respect, dude.
How you feeling?
I feel great. Every day is a good day, and I'm blessed to be here doing this with you.
Yep.
And that leads into what we're going to talk about, though, because gratitude being one of the practices or the habits that we like to...
I got you.
We like to instill.
One of our community members, one of the few, Evelyn, asked a question like, what am I looking forward to in everyday life? What am I looking forward to in Fuel Hunt, in the coming future? And on the everyday life front, I told her, I said, I know it sounds like cliche, but it's truth. I look forward to every day of everyday life, right? And then what that did was it started to spiral into questions from other members of the few. Like, what does your everyday life look like? Like, what are your rituals and routines, right? And I know you have quite a few rituals and routines, if you want to call them that. I don't know.
And
look, there's going to be many times during this episode, it seems like I'm being offensive, but I'm trying not to be offensive.
I didn't. So we haven't talked about this stuff. And quick.
Let's just say the word. Let's just
say
say the word.
We can't say, I need to preface the fact that my good friend Sean hates the word biohacking. And it in turn.
You are sitting across from your good cousin Joey, who also does not enjoy the term biohacking.
And I know, and I've in turn grown to have a distaste for the word because
interesting.
And I didn't let on to this, but I don't do as many of those biohacks as I did before. So because I've learned different things. But anyway,
okay. So rituals and routines in our everyday life. It's like how we live day to day and how it's helped us go from us being the only members of the community to a community of several 100,000. Us go from our first sale of Gear for Growth to our first dollar or our first sale to $1 million in sales. Like, what do we do on a daily basis? What are the rituals and routines that support that? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I offended you right out of the gate, and I was like, "Oh, well, you've got a bunch of them, and I've got like 3." Yeah. But how do you want to go about this? Let's just chop it up.
Let's start with your daily routine.
Okay. I mean, it's gonna.
And we don't need to go through like your whole day, obviously. Like.
Okay. You just start with the morning.
Yeah. Let's start with the morning routine.
Okay. Start with morning. This is gonna be the shortest episode ever. It's gonna be the shortest episode ever because it's so simple. So simple. So I wake up at 5 a.m. So that would be 4:55 a.m. And honestly, I want to get up earlier, man. Like if people ask me all the time, they're like,
it almost feels like you have 2 days when you wake up that. I mean, I try and wake up with the sun at this point.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just for optimal health.
Yeah.
But when the days I do wake up that early, it feels like you're ahead of everyone.
I wrote a blog post, 40 lessons learned by 40. When I turned 40, I wrote 40 things that I've learned that have changed my life.
That was a dope post.
One of them, thank you. One of them was wake up early and do your best work. It's literally a superpower. It makes you feel superhuman, dude. Makes you feel superhuman. So when you talk about my morning rituals and routines, right? So I'm up at 5:05. Why I chose 5:05, I don't know. It's just 5 minutes before 5, and there's a 4 there, and it just makes me feel good. I'll probably continue to reel that back to 4:45, 4:30 as I continue on, just because of how much, honestly, not just productivity, but how much pleasure I get from it. Like, it's actually like pleasurable to me to wake up that early. Yeah, it wasn't always that way, dude.
It
wasn't always that way.
It's that time before the family wakes up, before the rest of the world wakes up, so there's no one to even encroach or
Yes.
intervene in your magic time.
Yep.
That's what you call it, right? That's your
What's that? It's magic time. Yeah. Craig calls magic time. Yeah. Magic time. Yep, for sure. One important point though, it wasn't always that way for me. I'm a programmer by trade. And if you know anything about programmers, they're like night owls.
Yeah.
So I used to get up at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I used to work till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., get up at 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. Like that was the schedule I was on.
But then you learned that that's not optimal for your circadian rhythm to be.
Yes. That's what.
Oh, really?
No, that's what broke it.
Dude,
I was on circadian rhythms, antioxidants.
No, that's what I
meditation,
tell
blue
everyone.
blockers, dude. I was on that shit in like 99.
I tell
2000,
everyone
2001.
that you are the OG biohacker. You did. I think you were the one that got me into Vivos.
Yeah. Oh, barefoot
Got
lifestyle.
me into HRV tracking.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I was bringing goji berries in from like Tibet,
Yeah.
like on a plane.
Yeah.
Before like they were like a big thing, like acai, all that other stuff. Like, dude, I was on like the
So it's
beginnings of
interesting
that.
that a lot of your biohacks have dwindled away. Like you've.
This is the thing. First of all, I never looked at them as biohacking. Like I was never hacking my health. I was living life the way it should be lived.
Yes.
For longevity.
And that's what, and having talked to Sean about this, that's what he's getting at, is that biohacking is such a weird word for just doing things that make you healthy. And
or doing things that keep you breathing on this earth.
Just literally living healthy is biohacking apparently. And I agree with that.
When you're like us, when you're like Sean Brady, UFC, welterweight, you're like many members of the few, you're living a life of passion, purpose, and progress. And you want to continue that streak for as long as you can because you're actually changing society. You know what I mean? Whether you're like Sean and you're in the octagon and you're showing people, right, how to work hard, right, and do something that absolutely 0.00001% of people would do, step into that octagon, right, to change your life and change your life for your family. Or you're like us, you know, building the world's largest community of hard workers, restoring the dignity of hard work. We're many members of the few that have that journey of passion and purpose and progress. You want to be here, dude. You know what I mean?
And that's where a lot of it started for me, honestly, with because we were on this journey and looking to build something great, I had to heal my gut, right? I was having gut issues, but I know a lot of people struggle with in today's age, being of the foods that we grew up on.
I don't think, I'll go as far to say is like, I don't know anybody that doesn't struggle at some level with gut health.
Yeah. So
and from what we know about the gut, all things start in the gut.
All things.
So if there's some other thing that's presenting itself in their lives, it could be a root issue, could be their gut.
Exactly. So my journey started in looking to heal my gut to be the top performer that I could be and build this with you and do great things.
Be the best for your family, be the best for the community.
So people think that I'm crazy when I'm like, oh, I don't want to eat that or eat there.
You know how that
when
goes,
realistically, I'm just trying to eat optimally for my gut health and ultimately my health.
Yeah.
So I know people think even like, so Sean and I have the same goal in that matter, whereas like we'll turn down a pizza here or at this place or at a function, but for the same purpose and two different walks of life.
Yeah, or just, it's ways of explaining it. Somebody came up with that biohacking term and it stuck, and that's just what it was. All right, so back to my routine. It's really easy, so let me just blurt it out. Up at 5:05, I wake up, I drink water. I set my water out the night before, like 30 or 32 ounces of warm water. I drink my water. Yeah, I drink my water, and then I work. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's wake up, water, work. I believe the thing that brings me the most pleasure in life is progress, and nothing makes me happier than knowing that I'm up before the world is, and I'm putting level 10 effort against the level 10 problems in my life.
No, I respect
You know
that.
what I mean?
So our routines are a little bit different.
Oh, wait, one thing. Hold on.
Yeah.
After I'm up for about an hour, so around like, I don't know, 6:15 or so, maybe, I will have, we're talking rituals. I will have my espresso, my double espresso, which is like a very important ritual for me. Just, black,
Yeah.
double shot of espresso. So that is something that I do every morning. And when I work, I'm executing the plan from the night before. So before I go to bed,
Yeah. Your
I plan
day
the morning.
starts the night before.
There's no like wake up and like dick around trying to figure out what I need to do. I wake up with a plan.
A daily attack plan.
So that helps me make the most of my time, because my wife's up around the same time I am, but my daughters are up at 7, right? So I'm getting them ready for school and then getting them to school for about like 45 minutes in my morning, which I'm feel very grateful that I have the opportunity to spend that time with them in the morning, and then also give a little piece of like my morning energy that I've built since 5:05 to them for them to get their day started. Yeah. So that's what the morning looks like. Once they're at school, it's more work until 11 a.m. and that's when I train.
All right, so we'll start. I mean, our morning routines are a little different.
Yeah.
So the first thing I do is make a beeline for the sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look at a screen.
Mm-hmm.
I won't touch a light. I go right outside.
Mm-hmm.
Bare feet in the earth, Liver King style, stretching, and sunlight.
Okay.
Get the blood flowing.
I'm a big grounding person.
So,
I respect that. I like the grounding in the sunlight.
I mean, not everyone is though. Grounding is.
Bro, I walk in Philly barefoot.
I don't know.
In the streets.
I don't know if the grounding benefits on
asphalt
on Broad and Tioga or whatever, are the same as they are
in the suburbs.
grass.
Yeah.
Well, just in the grass or like nature. But so I do that, and then I have my glass of water, room temp.
You that's why you were like, warm.
Yeah.
I meant warm, like room temperature.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't drink. What do you think? I'm a psycho?
I mean, I don't know.
I heat up water and drink
Yes, I
it?
do think you're a psycho.
Well, I do have, which we'll get to in my afternoon routine here, but I do have my tea here. So I do have warm water here,
You know what's funny?
but it's about to go into my,
Mare said
it's steeping.
you having a steamer or was like a serial killer trait. And I was like, definitely a serial killer. I was like, I feel like Joey has many of those.
I do. Yeah, I think I do.
And the fact that you have these, like everything you have is so cultured. Like,
Yeah, but I told you, I don't know, one of those episodes, like that's been like a way that I've lived my life. Like I want to be experienced. I want to have as many experiences as possible, make my life rich.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Like, even if people don't know, your desk here at HQ is, what do you call it?
It's a steamer trunk.
A steamer truck. And we all have stand-up desks, the regular desks.
Well, I mean, I'm bougie enough. I have 2 desks now. So I have my steamer trunk,
Yeah, sure.
and then I have the stand-up desk. But yeah, the steamer trunk from like think like that Titanic.
And you were insistent on that thing coming here. Like, you gotta love that at home.
It has traveled with me since 2011. It has been with me at all of my places of business and employment.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of rich history. Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So sunlight, stretching.
and then this is where the magic happens. Like, that's like 20 minutes or so. And
Okay.
then the magic happens when I get inside. And then I mean, these are biohacks. Like, these are
Okay.
what people call biohacks, but like the red light.
You red light in the morning?
Yeah, red light in the morning and at night.
Okay.
10 minutes.
Okay. So
realistically.
it's short.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that.
Because that's supposed to be super beneficial for healing, right? And gut health. Like, that's
Okay.
my hope is that.
Okay.
Again, I haven't done the studies on the red light, but I do hear a lot of great things about it. But you just gotta, I guess, trust that it's working.
Yeah. I think that like all of these things do have benefits. It's just like, there's certain core things that if you're not working on those core things, these things ain't gonna fix those problems. Like if you're not sleeping well, I don't want to spoil the surprise, but if you're not and this is my opinion, I'm not a physician, but if you're not sleeping well, you're not eating well, and you're not training or exercising, you can red light and sun all day. Like,
Well,
right?
I mean, it's someone I love and close to me in my life, is always asking me for tips on health. And only, I mean, obviously, I do a lot of research and reading. It's like, I literally love health and fitness and jiu-jitsu and work. Like,
Yep.
So, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And I'm like, you need to stop smoking first. Like, you're not even doing the basics of what you need to do. Like, there's literally no point in even looking at those steps. You're trying to do, I said the other day, the razzle dazzle alley oop before you can even dribble the ball or shoot.
Like in hockey, it's the Swedish and not the Finnish.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, all Swedish, no Finnish.
So, okay, red light PMF mat sometimes. I mean, that's
So
a PEMF mat. It's electromagnetic frequencies that you get from this mat. And again,
So is it a grounding mat?
Yeah, it has a grounding setting, but they're pulse electromagnetic frequencies, I believe.
Okay.
And they're good EMFs. I mean, we've heard of non-native EMFs that cannot be good.
So are these like the is this like getting ions at the beach type of thing?
Essentially, like for I mean,
we don't have to go too deep into it.
Exactly. So
okay, so how long is that?
I don't always do that. I'll do that while red lighting sometimes.
Okay.
Like it's TBD.
Right, so you're like, you got your 20 minutes in the sun stretching, sun in your bottle. I mean, in the sun stretching.
I wish, dude. I
wish. You've got your red light. That's like another 10 minutes. Like you're an acceptable amount of time here.
Yeah,
this isn't like
I think this is
productivity draining.
Yeah, I think and it's super important. Like the way, and this is why I wanted to get into this, is the way I attack the morning. It sets me up for the rest of the day. I believe that I am more efficient and effective and productive than 99% of people. Like, I think the work I get done in X amount of time exceeds the work people get done all day. So it allows me to just align myself, my brain, my body to do the best work possible.
Yep.
So the magic, I was joking about the magic on the red light PMF, but in my gratitude practice and my meditation, and that's what I think is most important. Like, if I skip the red light or the PMF, I don't do that every day. I need to gratitude and meditate. So I shared this in our Rise group, but I have a specific 3 things I'm grateful for, 3 things that would make today great, and then at the end of the day, it's what did I learn today, and what were the best parts.
Makes sense.
And then I meditate I tried 15 to 20 minutes after that, and I don't know if anyone is into meditation, or I know people are, but you or
that's another.
I used to do guided, but I've learned that you need to just sit and be with your mind by itself, and I feel like that's what really put my meditation onto another level.
Yeah, I mean, you're still. I love guided meditation, and nowadays I actually do more guided meditation than I do straight up meditation, for different reasons. I have some guided meditations that I've shout out Kelly Howell. You can find her in Apple Music. She's probably on Spotify too. OG of the brain sync, theta waves, all that good stuff, meditation, guided meditation, OG of that space. I've literally been listening to her meditation since probably high school, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely like 2000, maybe something like that, 99, something. So her guided meditations have a special place in my heart, and they actually help me remember and reframe. I've mentioned that framework before. they help me understand that I've been through it before, and I'll get through it this time. Like that's a lot of the times I use meditation to calm my mind like that.
So you don't, it's not a part of your daily practice?
No. So I use it when I need it. And it's the same with gratitude for me. It is part of my daily practice, but I don't have a set time when I do it. I use it when I need it. I have this visualization that I have like a Batman belt. I know that sounds like kind of weird, but like a tool belt with like, you know what I mean? Like a tool belt with all the tools in it. And when I'm faced with a problem, right? Specific, and especially one that is overwhelming, I go to the tool belt, man, and like gratitude's in there, meditation is in there, training is in there, walking, bathing in the forest, like forest bathing, walking through the woods, that's in there. Like there's,
that's like a thing.
Yeah, there's different things in there. That's like an old school Japanese thing too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, so that's kind of where I'm at.
Is there any, so I mean, well, we gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, we got some.
But
we'll keep going.
I want to start talking about how you bookend the day. So like,
yes.
What are some of your nighttime routines that help you wind down or set yourself up for success the next day, like we talked about earlier?
So morning blocks of work in the morning. I said, I train at 11 a.m., right? So I train jiu-jitsu 3 or 4 times a week, 11 a.m. And then I'll train here at HQ, right? The afternoon post-training.
You must be really good.
What's that, jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Depends on you. How many white belts you asking?
I always say that too. Like, you would think with the amount of time I train that I'd be really good at this.
How many white belts you asking? So, again, so after post-training, like that time is my meeting time or my like cooperation time. Pre-training, the morning hours, right, are my creative time. So that's where I'm doing the work, which I believe is my best work, when I'm creating content, designs, copywriting, emails, like all that great stuff for the experiences for the community, right? In the afternoon, that's typically when we're all together and we're having our meetings and cooperating, right, and working through and with each other to get stuff done. So post-training.
Set up on that perfect day formula from Craig Ballantyne.
Yeah.
Where he says the...
Yep. So the meetings, the meetings and like cooperation, interaction, that's all in the afternoon. And really that's just like that's like a big block of work.
Yeah.
I call that kind of like first shift.
Yeah.
That's what I call that.
Yeah.
Because my magic time is my magic time in the morning. That's not even a shift, right? That's like me bringing who I am into the world. The afternoon is my first shift, you know what I mean? Where I'm doing some tactical stuff. I leave HQ, I go, I pick up my girls from school, come home, have dinner. I make dinner, come home, have dinner. We have a specific ritual we go through at the dinner table about our day. I'm sure you have one like that too. We go around the table.
Well, I want to talk about our dinner ritual.
Yeah. I'll let you. I won't go into mine. I'll let you talk about yours. And then in the evening, I have second shift, right? So after the girls go to bed, I have what I call second shift, and that's another block of work. And typically it's mostly creative work too. It's not with the same strength or the same purity that the morning has, because it's usually creative work that needs to be done in reaction to something that happened in the afternoon, like a meeting that we had or something like that. Yeah. After second shift, when that ties up, usually it's about 10 o'clock. Then I will do 2 things. 3 things actually. I will plan the next morning, definitely the morning, if not the whole day, so I can wake up and hit it. I will read. So that's time when I'll also read, because that's like my wind down thing, reading. And then I will either meditate or say a prayer. Either one, pray. But that's what it looks like. It's like simple and straightforward. Adherence is a big thing for me. So like, sometimes in the evening while I like cold plunge, yes, I will. I typically don't do that in the morning. Sometimes I'll do it in the evening. But
it's good for both times. I've heard.
Yeah.
So
sometimes will I train at night? you know, if one of my friends is instructing or I want to get an extra session or something, yes, I will. So there's like some flex, but for the most part, that's my my day.
I try to avoid the nighttime training as much as possible.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it gets me wound up, and then I just won't go to
I'm
sleep.
like,
One other thing I do, I forgot to mention after training is what I'm doing right now, which is I have green tea post training.
is that like a Lipton or is that some Japanese brand that
Well, I'm out of matcha.
you flew in from the?
No. I'm out of matcha, so I have green tea bags. So that's what I'm working with right
Okay,
now.
okay.
But typically it's like matcha or something in the early afternoon.
Do you use the matcha whisk?
Yeah.
Really?
I got set from, dude, the teapot and this are from Japan, dude. And my matcha set's from Japan too.
Oh my god! All right. Well, we have very, very similar days. The blocks, the training schedule. You train a little bit before me, but So,
how about your you want to talk about your afternoon, evening
yeah,
routine?
I was thinking about that. I think I don't know where I got this from, but we talked about it on our friend Michael Chernow's podcast, Creature to Habit.
Yep.
This dinner routine where we decide who goes first with rock paper scissors, which is funny, but
Oh, I like that.
yeah, and then gratitude, best part, and it was at the time on Chernow's podcast, worst part of the day. Mm-hmm. But I've since removed that because
You've evolved.
exactly.
Yeah. Don't like the vibration. That
Exactly. I'm like,
out.
what? We're ending on that. We'll do this
Learning.
we'll do this whole great gratitude, best part of your day, and then we end
Yeah,
on
I
a
don't
negative.
Like that.
Yeah, it's just like not the vibe. So I since changed it to, ready for this? You're gonna love this one.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do nice for someone else today?
Yes.
And
I like that.
Yeah.
How did you serve others?
Yep.
Similar.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll change the verbiage from now on. You know, I'm working on that. But how did you serve others? And that has been.
No, I'm not suggesting you change it. I'm just saying, like, that's how my mind processes.
And then my mind.
Hard work, service.
When you do that to me, when you take something I said or wrote, and you're like, oh, I would say it this way.
Yeah.
And I say, oh, wow, he's so right. That's such a better way of saying it.
Like, my mind is wired to our pillars, like freedom, hard work, service, others. So, like, when you're talking, it's not me saying, oh, how could this be said better? It's me saying, like, oh my God, this is
I
fuel.
feel like you naturally simplify everything.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Which
That's a programmer. That's a programmer thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned that from our copywriting research and reading.
Copywriting thing too.
Like they literally say it so a 5-year-old can understand it.
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dinner routine.
that I think that's one of the things I look forward to every day, and changing it to service to others also, I believe, challenged us to live differently. Whereas before, we weren't thinking of it, but now we're thinking, okay, I need to do more. It was always our thing, right? We obviously want to give, but we want to give more than we receive. But consciously thinking of like, okay, what am I going to do for someone else today?
Yeah.
Is a game changer. And then I also obviously have a second shift. It almost feels, when you were speaking about it, when you were talking about it, it's almost like anything else we do is just, and this is a harsh way of saying it, like detracts from the work. It's like, okay, I'm doing this for myself to fill my cup. Okay, back to work.
Yeah, listen,
You know what I mean? It's like work is life, and then everything else is around it.
When what you're doing fulfills you, and it's what you've always held in your heart as your true purpose. It's not work. You know, it's not. It's play. It's passion. It's purpose. It's so many things. From an outsider perspective, somebody looking in, somebody that doesn't understand,
Crazy.
they're like, "Oh, all you do is work. You're crazy." You know, blah blah blah. But you know, for us, it's it's passion, play, it's purpose. You know.
Yeah.
So when my second shift conversation was hitting you, about like second shift for me, man, like, dude, we are a small team, scrappy team. Like second shift for me is messy, man.
Yeah.
Like I just finished like cleaning up the dishes, like we're doing like baths in my house, like getting my daughters to bed, like I got the phone, like I'm on the phone sometimes, like sometimes I'm on our C1 accountability call, right? Every Wednesday, and then I'm like at my kitchen counter where I don't like this, but sometimes I'm in bed with the laptop, you know what I mean? Like it's messy. It's like second shift is like gritty, man. And that's what I love about it. It's just gritty.
Yeah, I agree.
Cause dude, the couch, bro, listen, Let's be honest. You know, at this point in my life, if I'm being completely honest, the last thing I want to do is sit on the couch. But for most people that are making this journey, and I'm older too, you know what I mean? Like I'm in my 40s, right? So it's different for me. But bless you.
Thank you.
That second shift, the couch is like alluring, man. The couch is alluring. Like the couch is like, come sit on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Netflix is like, come watch me.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Amanda, my wife, has this big couch work. She does love couch work. She grinds, dude, harder
Yeah.
than like as hard as all of us.
Yeah.
But she loves working on the couch.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
She brings her work to the couch.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. But I'm saying the couch is alluring, like it's trying to pull you away from second shift.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gritty, man. Like I'm back to it. Like I'm scrappy. We're going to do this. Like whatever the goal is that day or that week.
Exactly.
Or the big goal, you know what I mean? So.
And then last thing I do is make my daily attack plan for the next day. And that's one thing you've instilled in me and taught me. But each day you write down 5 things that are critical to the day ahead or the day upcoming to moving the needle. They're not just do the laundry, do the dishes. Like everyone has those to-dos.
Yep.
They
Even in business, you have to-dos.
5. Yeah, exactly. Like have this meeting. 5 critical tasks that are going to push you outside of your comfort zone to help you achieve your goals.
Yep. Yeah, needle movers. You just call them needle movers. I like that description because, like,
did I ever tell you I had my friend Brittany make me a sign for? We don't have it anymore, but it was under the TV at our old house, and it said "Move the needle."
No,
so this
but I
way,
like that.
anytime you were watching TV, you would just know.
Yeah, I like that.
That was when I was like in full psycho mode. I've since like we both since dialed it back a little.
Yeah, I think what we did was we
Evolved.
We learned, we evolved, you know, and you go through a mode where you think that you see the benefits of this type of life and you finally feel fulfillment and you want that for other people. And then you go hard trying to explain that they can do it too and all that other stuff. And the reality of it is the way to lead people to that fulfillment is to just set a really great example with the way you're living your life. And they'll come around if they're meant to, you know, if they're called to. So one thing...
I think that was a great way to put a button on the show, but you got it.
Well, I'm going to continue.
Yeah.
We break the rules here.
Yeah.
Dane's looking at his disapproval, man. He's like, do not do it. I just wanted to touch on my family's dinner table.
Yeah, I was excited
practice.
to hear that.
Yeah, let me touch on it. And you've inspired me because I know that ours needs to evolve a bit. And I'm going to take it there soon.
Yeah.
But we're in a good spot. So I just wanted to run through it. I'm not sure if I went through it on Trinow's show or not.
No, I don't think you did.
So it's 4 questions. Rock, paper, scissors thing on who goes first, I like. I usually just, I anoint the person that goes first. But 4 questions. And I'll explain the science, the method behind the madness, the science behind them. First question is, what did you work hard on today? No surprise, like hard work. Because hard work. What made you happy today? Was everybody kind to you today? Were you kind to everybody today? So with the first 2 questions, what I want to do, so let me back up a little bit. When I spend time with my daughters, especially on like a daddy-daughter day, which I think we should do an episode on like daddy-daughter days, father-son days, like we should do like a whole episode on it. I want to know 3 things about my daughters. I want to know what their world's like, the work that they're doing, and what they're worried about. Those are the 3 things I want to know. So these 4 questions that I ask at dinner relate to that. What did you work hard on? What made you happy? I'm trying to draw a correlation between hard work and happiness with them. And like Cecilia, my youngest, she's in pre-K. So for like the beginning of pre-K, her year, I'd be like, what you work hard on today? Coloring. Like every day I was coloring. Now that she's getting older and more mature, she's saying different things. Well, math, and we did this and we did that. And every once in a while, both her and my oldest, Everly, every once in a while, the thing that they worked hard on was the thing that made them happy. And I'm like, bang.
Exactly.
So then I ask them, I'm like, do you think that's like a coincidence? Yeah. What do you mean? Like, well, do you think things that you work hard on can also make you happy? Happier than you watching Bluey?
Yeah.
You know? And trying to make that correlation between those two things, between, you know, effort and fulfillment, right? Yeah. So that's the first two questions. That's what's going on there. The kindness questions, I've spoke about this ritual a few times before, and a couple dudes gave me like a hard time, like, oh, it's soft, like you're asking about kindness. It's about their world and their worries. You know, like when I was growing up, I don't know about you, when I was growing up, I was bullied as a kid, right? I didn't really have anybody that asked me about that or anybody I could talk to, right? So I kind of want to get into their world, and I want to understand how they're being treated, and then also how they're treating others. Yeah. Like that's what those last two questions are about. Yeah. So sometimes I reverse them and I say, were you kind to everybody? You know, honestly, tell me, you know, and my kids are like dead honest, so it's cool. Yeah. And then was everybody kind to you? So that I can start to flush out that treatment and celebrate them for doing something kind and doing something of character, or explain to them why something unkind may have happened to them. So that's kind of where I'm at with my 4 questions at this time. But I do see I see the opportunity to evolve it in a couple of ways, but it's like working so well now, you know, I'm still going to stick with it. Yeah. I think once Cecilia gets a little older, then I might change it up.
No, I agree. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah. We skipped over a couple of things. Like obviously there's homework time, and there's hours, like family time. We skipped over like the family time block around dinner, but this gives, I think, the community, I don't know if I've really ever laid out my day like this. Maybe in Rise I have. Yeah. You know, but shout out to all our Eagles in Fuel Hunt Rise. And also one thing before we close up here. Speaking of Rise, the Few Fest 002. Ernest is here. Few Fest 002 is quickly approaching. May 18th, I believe this episode will air before it. I'm already getting a ton of questions. Admission to the Few Fest 002 is free for Fuel Hunt Rise members. If you're in Rise and you get to HQ, it's free. Rise members also go out to dinner with us afterwards. We all hobble into Sweet Lucy's barbecue spot around here and have dinner. If you're unfamiliar with the Few Fest, it is a challenge. It's a challenge that changes you. That's what it is, straight up. The Few get together at Fuel Hunt HQ. We do 500 reps in the gym here. Then we go on a ruck through the gritty city of Philadelphia, at least a half marathon distance for the Few Fest 001. We did 16 miles. I would love to do 18 on May 18th. You know what I mean? I like my numbers and my symmetry. And then after we do that ruck is, by the way, it's to the Liberty Bell and back. So from Fuel Hunt HQ to the Liberty Bell in Old City, Philadelphia and back. Then we cap it off with 500 more reps, any movement you want at the Fuel Hunt gym here. So it is coming up today. By the time this airs, tickets will already be live. If you are not in Fuel Hunt Rise, a limited number of spots are available. You can register to come through. To learn more about Fuel Hunt Rise, go to fuelhunt.com/rise. Sorry, had to get that in there. This is, we are on a mission to make the Few Fest epic. Yeah. The first one was epic. I'm talking epic of like grand proportion. I'm talking like taking it out of the US and doing it worldwide. So this is one of the best platforms for us to get that message out there. So I just wanted to plug all that. Forgive my shameless plug. No, anything else you want to talk about? Rituals and routines?
No, that went well.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that there's a lot of gems in there. If anyone in the community has any questions about our rituals and routines, leave a comment. Yep. Leave a comment on the YouTube video. If you're listening on one of your podcast platforms, head over to YouTube, leave a comment, subscribe while you're there. We'd appreciate it. Helps us grow the community, grow the show. All right.
That's all I got.
Sign off? Yeah, I want to let Ernest sign off today. He's incapable?
No, he's not.
No, he's just stoic, man. You don't want to talk. Yes. You don't want to talk. All right. I'll leave the few with a reminder for their day and for their life. Always choose hard work over handouts. Always choose effort over entitlement. No one owns you. No one owns you. You're one of the few. Now let's hunt.